Object-oriented concept in Java. These are the object-oriented programming concepts in Java: class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. Let's try to understand what is class. Class is defined as a collection of objects. A class is like a blueprint or a prototype from which you can create an object. It is a set of methods and variables that object can access in common. Class is a logical entity and it doesn't consume any space. Whenever you want to create a class in Java, you have to use class keyword. Object. Object is defined as an instance of the class. Object is a real-world entity and it consumes space. Object is a basic entity of any object-oriented programming language. Objects interact with each other. They exchange data, they communicate with each other. Whenever you want to call a method within a class, you have to create an object to that particular class. We create objects to invoke methods of a particular class. We can create any number of objects to a particular class. Inheritance. Inheritance is a process by which one class acquires all the properties of another class. Inheritance is a general concept. Let's say, for example, we inherit our parents. Our behavior, our body structure depends on our parents. So there is a concept known as inheritance in Java, where one class acquires the properties of another class. The class which inherits the properties is known as child class or subclass. The class from which the features are inherited is known as parent class. If you want to inherit one class to another class, you have to use extends keyword. Let's see how to implement inheritance. For example, if you want to inherit father class to a son class, you have to create a class son and you have to use extends keyword with that. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is a concept by which we can perform a single action in different ways. Poly means many and morph means forms. In Java, we can achieve polymorphism by two types: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism is also known as static polymorphism. It can be achieved by function overloading. We can overload a function in many ways. For example, by changing the number of parameters of a function, by changing the type of parameters of a function, and by changing the return type of a function, we can overload a function. We will try to discuss about function overloading in the upcoming videos. Runtime polymorphism. Runtime polymorphism is also known as dynamic method dispatch. It is a process in which a function call to a overridden method is resolved at runtime. It is achieved by method overriding. Method overriding is a concept used in inheritance. When we inherit a parent class, we can override the implementation of that particular method in the parent class in the child class. Abstraction. Abstraction is the process of hiding the implementation details and showing only the functionality to the user. We only show the essential things to the user and hides the internal processing that particular feature. For example, when you click on a button on an application, you don't know the internal processing, but you can see the changes on your screen. Abstraction lets you focus on what the object does instead of how does it do it. Encapsulation. Encapsulation is a process of wrapping code and data together into a single unit. We can create a fully encapsulated class in Java by making all the methods and variables of a class private. Encapsulation provides control over data. The advantages of OOPS. Reusability. For example, using inheritance, we can make use of the code that is already written instead of writing the same code again and again. Data redundancy. Data redundancy occurs when the same piece of data is stored in two or more separate places. Code maintenance. Maintaining a complex code or a complex project is very much easier by using OOPS concepts. Security. With the use of abstraction and data hiding, we can provide limited exposure to data and keep it secure. Easy testing. Testing is easier with the use of encapsulation. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching the video. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.